let's talk Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones talked to me and a small group of media today and just dove into him getting benched, what it means for his future, where he stands currently. And he was very open about a lot of stuff. And I got to give him a ton of credit. Like, it's a story where tomorrow or tonight, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to break it all together and I'm going to put it out tomorrow morning. And the reason I won't rush it is because, quite frankly, I don't want to make him look like a jerk. I don't want Broderick to look like a dude who is coming off in any sort of way, because he was incredibly respectful in this interview and incredibly insightful in this interview and honest. And that's what you're looking for, is honesty. And Broderick was as honest as he gets, and I don't want him to be taken in any sort of negative light, because it shouldn't be taken in any sort of negative light. Now, he opens the interview by saying that, you F up, you're going to get benched. That's what's going to happen. So he was very open that is what went on. But I talked to him. I talked to a couple of veteran linemen, and I've spoken to some former NFL linemen just casually. And what I have gathered is, I'm not exaggerating here, not one person I have spoken to who has played offensive line in the NFL over the course of the past couple of days while I'm doing this agreed that the Steelers should be rotating right tackles. And every one of them have said, yeah, maybe they'll continue to do it, but they should not continue to do it. And a lot of them have said they won't continue to do it. What I'm hearing is that there's still a possibility, but that possibility is very, very, very slim. Very slim. But that's okay, because the Pittsburgh Steelers have made it known to Broderick Jones that he is still the future of the left tackle. That is what he told me. That this is not changing anything. Broderick Jones is still the guy that they look at as the next franchise piece to this offensive line, and that is what they will develop him as. In my eyes, what that means is that for right now, Broderick Jones is getting shut down. Broderick Jones is going to be a dude who will only play extra tackle, who will only play swing tackle when needed. But Dan Moore has allowed almost zero pressures statistically, and Troy Fautanu is now your right tackle. They are not going to continue to rotate. We could talk redemption all day. It's not going to happen. And the Steelers are incredibly open when it comes to communication. You are allowed to express your opinion. Mike Tomlin will tell you whether or not you need to shut up, or he's going to consider it. And I think this time, with everybody saying it's not going to work, he's going to consider it. And Broderick will not be rotating. Now, I have no direct confirmation here. This is all interpretation. But from what I have gathered, the reporting I've done, the people I've spoken to, it's just Mike Tomlin might be the only person in the universe who thinks that this is worth doing. And I think he has enough voices around him right now telling him, dude, you're messing up big time by doing this. Please stop. The way I look at this is Broderick's season is over, except for being a swing tackle. He will not be a starter in 2024. And then 2025, he steps back into that role. But for right now, this is a shut him down, regroup, be very open and honest and communicate very well with him, and we'll pick it up next season when he grows. I think it's the best idea for him. And where we stand, I would be very shocked if Broderick Jones gets some right tackle in this game. If anything, maybe some left tackle down the road. But everybody that I've spoken to, it's over. Broderick is officially the backup where he should be and where it helps moving forward. So where I stand, we're shutting down the rotation of the right tackle. What's up, guys? It's football season, and we've teamed up with DraftKings. Right now, new customers who bet $5 will receive $250 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, you'll receive 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. It's hard to think of a better way to celebrate fall weather, your favorite jersey, and Sunday touchdowns than with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings app and use our promo code ALLSteelers. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium after betting just $5. Stay in the action and use your $250 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You could still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSTEELERS and bet just $5 on any wager and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code ALLSTEELERS only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
We talked about it last week, and I think we both agreed that it was what was best for Broderick to bench him, move him to left, and allow him to kind of regain his footing on the left while Dan Moore is playing at a decent level. And I think that that's where they need to go. Now, you said the door seems to be closed on Broderick starting this season. I don't know if I would go that as far as to say this season personally. I know you're the one that's in the building, you're the one that's talking, but just in my eyes, I feel like this is an opportunity for the Steelers to sit Broderick, let him reacclimate to the left side, and let Dan Moore be the determining factor in whether or not that door opens. I would say if it's closed, it's not locked, because there is an opportunity and there's a chance that Dan Moore does turn out to struggle a little bit or an injury persists. And I think at that point, the door opens up again for Broderick. And I think if he's able to get his feet underneath him back at left tackle, his natural position, especially if that elbow gets a little bit healthier, I think you start to see him come out of what appears to be a sophomore slump. His demise has been greatly exaggerated by Steelers Twitter. I think that this is too early to call him a bust. I think what he needs is to be able to get healthy and to be able to be put in the right position. And I think that takes a little bit of time. Fortunately for the Steelers, they have a right tackle that is a rookie that has looked to be up to the challenge of Troy Fautanu. Short sample size, but he looks to be up to the challenge. And they have a veteran going into his, fourth, fifth year, whatever it is, Dan Moore, who is playing at a pretty good level right now. So they are afforded the time and the opportunity to let Broderick reset. And he is an important piece to their future to where they should afford him that time. I don't know why they went to the rotation. I'm glad that it sounds like they're shutting it down. And if he sits for a few weeks and that door comes open, that's fine. I just don't feel like I'm ready to say the door is closed and locked at the same time this season.
I agree. I don't think it's closed and locked. I don't think it's closed and locked by no means, but I think it's closed and locked in a rotation, at right tackle. Like maybe left tackle, just like you said. And maybe you put him back out there at right tackle. I don't know. I don't know. And I think the best thing is for the Steelers to somehow end this season with Troy Fautanu and Broderick Jones as their tackles and feel really good about it. Like you're not going to force the issue, but if the issue naturally presents itself, great. That's, you're in a great spot. But I don't think in week 3, Broderick is going to be a guy that we see much on the field. I don't think in week 4, Broderick is going to be a guy that we see much on the field. And I think Mike Tomlin has so many voices in his ear right now that he might start listening to them, which is good, because Mike Tomlin makes terrible decisions all the time. He makes fantastic ones. He also makes undeniably wild decisions that everyone can see is a bad idea. And he is, for a guy who is so in a vacuum, you'd think he'd have somebody in that vacuum saying, "Dog, don't do this. This is not what you want to be doing." And he just doesn't have that. But I agree with you. I'm not locking the door on this. I'm not locking the door, but I do think that Broderick's on the outside of that door, and he's gonna wait for it to open. He's not gonna knock. He's gonna sit there, and the Steelers are gonna see how the season progresses before they let anybody else in the door. That is Broderick Jones.
Yeah, and if he's gonna knock, by the way, make sure he uses his left arm, because he can't extend his right arm.
He can't extend the right arm. He can't extend the right arm. The brace is massive, man. I wish you could see it in person. I mean, these human beings are massive.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Dylan Cook today. I was walking behind Dylan Cook in the hallway, and I was like, "Dylan, when did you get so tall?" And he was like, "I don't know, like 22. He was like, "It was nuts because I always thought I had like really serious knee issues." He said, "And then I had a growth spurt, and that's when they stopped hurting, is when I knew that's when I was done with my growth spurt." And I was like, "Wow, dude, does this mean that I'm going to get taller? Does this mean I have a growth spurt coming at 29 years old?" I'd be pretty pumped. I don't think it's going to happen, but these guys are massive. That brace is huge. That brace is so huge, but he is hopefully knocking with the left side, on the left side of the door.